What's going on YouTube? Kilo6 here, and I have got the next upgrade to my JK. I'm super excited about this one because this one's going to actually help out with the people in the back seat with their comfort levels and such. I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about, but in short, the product is called an innovative rear seat recline kit. I don't sit in the back seat of my Jeep very often, being that this is my daily driver, but my kids sit back here all the time, and I went back a couple of times there and I was just like, man, this just does not feel right. Let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. You can see, now I have the front seat slightly reclined back a little bit. I'm not that tall. However, my son, who drives a lot, he is about tall enough to have the seat back like this. But just the way that this sits upright is so uncomfortable. The chair is right in front of me. I feel like I'm up. I can't recline back. It doesn't have a thing. My son over here, Kilo Jr., he's only 10 years old, 12 years old. He's 12 years old. This is set for how I would sit in the front seat. So even for him, as a kid, he is right up against it, doesn't have a lot of room. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you through the install, show you the products right over here. Just a couple of things. We've got a 2.5 inch right here. Is gonna end up coming right down here. You can see it right here. These bolts here, we're gonna end up taking all of them out, and what happens is that these things sit all the way across, and it's gonna make the whole chair tilt back about 2.5 inches. So you'll see once the finished product is done. But what I'm gonna do is, I took a couple of before pictures. We'll go through the install, then I'll test it out for a drive, see how it feels, have my son drive while I sit back there and just kind of see if the recline really made much of a difference. See. All right, so what we're gonna need to do first, there's 3 bolts in the back of the Jeep. I'm not gonna do a full long install like from beginning to end. I'm just gonna do kind of little clips of it because there's already a few different install videos out there. But in short, you're gonna need 18mm socket. There are 3 bolts back here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but you're gonna have right here, this one, and that guy over there. First thing you're gonna have to do is just loosen these. You do not have to take them out all the way. You just need to loosen this enough so there's a little bit of room to rock the chair a little bit before we head to the front. After that, same bolt, gonna come around here. There are 4 bolts here. Same one I pointed out earlier. This guy right here. There's one of these all the way across for all 4 of these posts here. And then down here, it's a little bit hard to see, but if you can come down this way, there's a bolt right back here. I don't know if that's visible. It's right here. So once these things come off, then we can tilt that back off once this leans up. A couple of different steps, but let's go on ahead and start in the back and loosen that guy up. So like I said, we're gonna start back here in the back. These 3 bolts here, 18mm wrench. So if you have an impact drill, this will be a lot easier. I don't, so I'm gonna actually show you guys that this can be done by hand. It's just gonna take a lot of, I don't know, elbow grease. But here, and there, just show you real quick that it can be done. You just need, there we go, a little bit of force in it. So again, I'm not gonna have you guys watch the entire thing. I am just breaking them, loosening them, and then once this part's done, we'll move around to the front. All right, as you can see here, I actually just went ahead and took them off. I mean, it says you don't have to take them off all the way, but I did. But in any case, there's that one, this bolt right here, super simple, and another cap over here. Now that the 3 back ones are undone and we have a little bit of play here in the back, we're gonna move around to the middle, and we'll start with these 4 bottom ones here. So again, there's here, here, and then 2 on this side, 3, and 4 is on the other side over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and break these guys loose. I'll just show you real quick that it can be done manually, and then we'll cut again. Oh, there it is. Son stole the socket set from me. So can be done manually, and then we'll cut and do the magic. It's already done for you. There you go. All right, so I got the first 2 bolts all the way out. I'm gonna show you real quick the 2 bolts side by side, these ones and the new ones. You'll see the new ones are a little bit longer. You only get the 4 replacement bolts for the 4 in here. The ones that are gonna be back here, you'll actually use the same stock bolt. You can actually see it now, but you see here, once I pulled that out, this actually can fold up and actually works really, really good with the Armorlite flooring that I've got here. But you're gonna take 2 of these and 2 of the new bolts that come with it. We'll actually install it afterwards because I have to do a couple of things, but I'm just showing you real quick what you're gonna do. These guys are gonna end up coming right down here. Just tilt the chair back, put these inside here, line them up with the hole. You're gonna end up placing this right on top and flushing it out, but you can't do it until you take care of the back piece. And then you'll get the new bolts, which you can see here are just a little bit longer. So they make them the exact same as the stock bolts that would normally come with the Jeep, but longer to accommodate for the rise. A little pro tip, by the way. Hang on. When you're ready to do those back bolts, to make it easier, fold the seat back. And, here, take this for me. Grab your seat belt, and you can actually wrap your seat belt around it and lock the seat belt. And boom, now that's tucked up out of the way. Make it where you can actually get to these bolts down here a lot easier. So we're gonna finish the other side and then we'll get back to this. I'll get back with you. Okay, a little bit of an update. I have busted myself up big time. These 4 bolts here, the ones right across, broke with the wrench, no problem whatsoever. The 3 back here, oh my gosh. First of all, I can't break them with my arm. I have busted myself up. I got 2 split up knuckles, cut myself here, and then major rug burn thing here based on this guy here, which is funny because I watched a video from somebody else doing this and they kind of had the same problem where they hit the thing. I tried to get in here and do it like this, and when it broke, basically I was just pulling it, bam, and it just scraped me right across there. So these back ones, at least on my Jeep, super hard to bust by hand. So I actually just went down to AutoZone, Discount Auto Parts. I forgot which one it was. I think it was AutoZone. And they actually have tool rentals. They'll actually just let you take a breaker bar out there. So again, I mean, I'm using a very small ratchet system here, guys. So for this, so this is not the tool for the job. I got those as well as the 3 bolts in the back with this by hand. I couldn't budge these ones by hand. So I went to the AutoZone, asked them if I could borrow their thing. Somebody actually already had it rented out. So I said, you know what? I plan on doing a ton more work on my Jeep anyways. And I just went ahead and updated and got myself an impact wrench. So, if you are doing this by hand, if you're not doing it by hand, this is the way to go. If you are doing this by hand, AutoZone does have breaker bars and even impact wrenches that power impact wrenches that you can rent and borrow. It just happened to be the one I went to. This was already rented out, and their big breaker bar was already rented out. But now you can see with the right tool. Let's just kind of see real quick. And that one's done. Just like that. One more thing to do before you get it. If you look down here, since I've installed this carpet, I never actually undid these things. So there's a little bit of dirt that's inside these. You can check down in here too and just see little bits of dirt everywhere from me banging around and stuff like that. Always a good time when you have your seats back and everything out of the way. Just give it a little vacuum up, clean it up a little bit. Nothing special, just give it a little wipe down before you bolt everything back down and keep everything nice and pretty. Go. All right, guys, we're on to the last step. You can see we got everything out super fast now that we have an impact wrench. By the way, that was $80 at AutoZone to purchase, and that's going to be the same thing I'm going to be using taking my wheels off. Like pretty much now that I have that, I'm going to do every single thing on the Jeep is going to be so much easier now that you have an impact wrench. So trying to do it manually, you're going to pay the price. I got the muscles for it, but you're going to pay the price. It's going to hurt. Just do this with the impact wrench. Now, okay, here's your spacers. You can see the 2.5s, they go in the front. These are the ones that are going to actually sit underneath this right here. It's going to sit just like this, right down in these grooves. So you can actually just take the 4 of them and set them across. We already did those 2 over there. Before you bolt down the front pieces, you can see we're still held back with our seatbelt over here. Now that we busted these guys off, you're going to use the factory screws that you took out of these holes with. So these are the new screws. They're a little bit longer. You can see these are for the 2.5 spacers with this. The factory screws, you're going to take these smaller spacers, these little guys, they're going to get placed back here, just like this. You know, if you're down here or not, are you? There you go. And then the bolt's going to come through just like that. So we just got to have to like line it up, thread it in by hand, and then we can zip it all down. But I am going to take my time with this one because I want it to not shift around on me or anything like that. So I'm just going to go on ahead and thread in all 3 of these guys back here real quick by hand. That one's in. And then we can go on ahead and stop for now, but I'm going to put this one into this one, and we'll put the one in there. Once we bolt those guys down, I'll come back on to show you the front pieces. Oh, okay. So use the impact. Those things are already in. You can see they're already spaced out a good amount. I mean, you saw what the spacers looked like before. Last step is to get these guys, which, by the way, they swivel. So if when you go to put it down right away, it seems like it's not lined up. They move around. So just mess with it until you get it right in. The new bolts that came with the kit, these are longer than the ones that initially came in here. So these are the 2. So what we'll do is we'll release our seatbelt now that was helping us out, our handy dandy seatbelt, and just come down. You can see that, like drop the bolt through, all the way in, and what we're going to do is we're just going to hand thread them down most of the way until I get everything nice and flush and even, and then I'll impact them the remainder of the way. So just get those guys in, make sure I get them in the thing, hand thread them in, perfect, and then I'll impact them down in just a second. I just want to make sure, actually I'll probably socket these guys down until it gets most of the way down, and then I'll just use the impact for like the final. But just as just to get it the majority of the way. That's what we're gonna do with these. And then after this, we got the 3 bolts in the back, and then it's the finished product. So I'll see you guys at the end. We're all set. So I just went ahead and bolted down those last ones. So I had the impact already, and just real quick, just to double check back here, so you don't forget the 3 that we did at the ending. This guy, and that guy. Turned out to be a lot easier popping the cheers forward before doing them. But moment of truth, and by the way, so that lets you know too, even with this recline kit, the chair fully reclines down. You can see both of them are fully flat. So just like before, inside here, before when you had this thing down, you can see there is a slight tilt. It's not 100% flat like it used to be. It's slightly tilted back. But that's still a pretty darn open up back area with the seats down. So despite the fact that we made some alterations. But now, at least, hopefully, moment of truth. I haven't sat in it yet. This is going to be the moment of truth on whether it's actually comfortable, or at least more comfortable than before. It's fully reclined back and everything. I can visually see. You can almost tell right now, just because the chair is all the way back here. Clearly, it's reclined back quite a bit. I believe it used to be right here next to this. So that's, it's only 2.5 inches is that lifted down there, but you can see it's gone back quite a bit. But this is the real test. Oh my goodness, forget the top. I put the top down. Wow. By the way, this kit's $50. $50 on Amazon. So aside from the fact that I had to go get an impact drill, if you went to AutoZone or if you have a friend that's got one, you already have one, this is a $50 project on your Jeep that you saw what it was before. I think I was like this. We'll have to look at the before and after pictures, but I believe I was upright like this, touching it, but now you can see that gives you a lot of extra room back here. Good product to use. I'm very happy with the result, despite the fact that my kids are the ones that are going to be riding back here, not me. Peace out. See you guys on the next one.